What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be hooking up the chiller to the Monport laser. The CW-5000 Chiller sounds like something out of the Terminator, huh? One thing I want to point out is this is a chiller. It's actually going to cool the water. It is not just a recirculator. So before you hit that buy button on Amazon, if you get one of these, or if you go through Monport's site and get one, make sure it's a chiller. We want to keep that water cold. All right, this is a review, so they did send this over free of charge. So I get to say what I want, if I like it, if I don't, and we're not expecting many surprises here. This is going to be very similar to the one I already have. So let's get to unboxing. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. It does say 2 people, so don't do like me and be one person and get it. And again, this is a water chiller, so it is actually going to chill the water, not just recirculate the water. One of the other things you'll want to remember is you'll need distilled water. All right, let's look at what we can see right now. We got some power cords, looks like instructions, and some clamps for hoses. Hey, and an extra fuse in there as well. Heavy styrofoam packaging. Nice 2-handle pickup from the side. And then again at the bottom, there's some more heavy duty styrofoam there. Now I did read through the quick guide that Monport had on theirs. It did say put some dishwashing soap and some anti-algae in there. I'll do dishwashing soap maybe, we'll see. I don't have the algae, maybe I'll get with that. Just not sure if we're keeping this or not. So let's get this off. Hey, I made it in the box. All right, let's turn this towards y'all so you can see. So this is very similar to the one I have. We got our on-off power, alarm and normal light, and then our control function right here for the screen. This is where we put the water in. We have one of our filters here. Looks like it kind of came out. Here's our side. And just given positioning, that's where water is going to be held. It's got some foam around it and then covered in plastic. Let's go around to the back. We have our inlet, our outlet, alarm outlet. Not going to be using that. That's okay though. Plug in our power and our drain. And then the other side, we have another filter. And pretty much like the other side, right there, same kind of filter. And our water tank. Then we have some temperature control and alarm illustrations. The simple version, giving us what kind of codes are going to be on there, and then just some simple getting this set up. Let's get a tape measure and just kind of measure this out real quick. All right, let's measure this. So from the ground to the handle, 18.5, so I would say 18 3/4 inch tall. I know that's a lot more, but I just want to make sure we got some clearance there from front to back. The machine itself is just slightly under 22 inches, but then if we come out with the inlet and outlet hoses, you're looking at 22.5 inches. And then width, you're looking at about 11.5 inches wide. All right, so that's for dimensions. Next, let's take a quick look at what we're going to do for the tubing. So I did order more tubing, but it hasn't got here, and wanted to get this up and going. They did send us 2 hoses, one for the inlet and one for the outlet. That's great. Let's go ahead and take some measurements here. The outside diameter is 12.21 millimeters, or 0.48 inches, or 31/64. So just under half an inch. Okay, the inside diameter, 7.78 millimeters, or 0.3 inches, which is 5/16. So if you go and buy hose off of Amazon, make sure you look at both the outside diameter and inside diameter. What we want to make sure is that inside diameter is going to be nice and snug over, we're going to be able to get it nice and snug over the these, and then we'll clamp these down even more. Now, on my OhmTech, I have it directly from the inlet and outlet to the machine. On this one, because I don't have this portable and I gotta move, you can see from these pictures here, we had some hail and tornado chances moving through, so had a Tetris the garage so we could get the car in. Oh, fun time. So what I want to do here is, I got these quick release, and I got these off Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description. We're going to try these out. Here we go. So we're going to need to cut the hoses in half and then put one side of each of these to that hose. And then one side of that will go to the inlet, the outlet, and then same on the other side. So just going to put these in the middle here. Want to try to get them in the same, as close as possible to the same area. So we'll go there. Get the handy dandy scissors. I know some people may be saying there's a better way, but hey, these food scissors have served me well. All right. And I believe this, I went with 3/8 barb on the quick release. So that way we can get a good snug fit there. And the other thing I'm gonna do, I'm still, I have to go find them, but I got some zip ties, and we'll zip tie this, make sure they're really snug. So we got one there, and we're just feeding those in like so. Let's open up this other package. Now I'm not sure if they want these to go on this side or on the machine side. Let's just take a quick look real quick, see if they tell us. Ah, yes, one important thing. Don't turn this on until you have water in it. It does not say which side these need to go on. So I'm going to figure this side, and we'll zip tie the other side. So I'm going to go with the release mechanism side on the machine, on the chiller. There we go. Grab our screwdriver. Make sure we get that nice and snug. There we go. Hey. All right, so chiller side is hooked up. Next, we want to get these, we want to get this side hooked up to the back of the machine. So let's get this out of the way and turn our machine so we can get this hooked up. All right, so we need to take this tube off. All right. And there we go. You see. So I believe it goes outlet to inlet and then outlet to inlet. Believe so. So before I go saying anything wrong, I'm going to take a quick minute read through, make sure we get everything connected up right, and I'll be back. So one of the first things I want to do is we're going to move this over here. I'm hoping this is steady enough. Let me see if I can find a board to sit on that and get it level. There we go. Now that that's set up, let's clean out this funnel. We don't want to be putting dust in there. All right, it should be 2 gallons, so distilled water that we'll be putting in. These cost each like 97 cents, so nothing fancy there. Just the store brand. Got our funnel, and let's pour it in. All right, there's 1 gallon. Now where's, oh, that's right. The gauge for the water is on the back. Not showing anything yet. Oh, also, let's go get the dishwashing soap and we'll put 1 or 2 drops in. And we're just going to put a very small amount in here. It says a couple drops. I'm just going to do like 1, 2. There we go. Nothing fancy, not a lot, just a couple drops for right now. Let's get started on our second. Okay. All right, we're going to spin this around and get these hoses connected. All right, let's move the camera in here. So we can see here we have the water inlet. So we want the outlet, because it's going out. So this is in, this is out, and we want to connect it to the back of the chiller going in, because it's, again, stuff is going in. Okay, so here's our outlet, and outlet goes to the inlet. And that bottom one is our inlet, or our outlet. And it goes to our inlet. So water out, water in. So we're creating a loop. Okay, we're going to put the cap back on. If we need to top off some more, we will in a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and plug her in. There we go. Let's see, am I going to reach? No. All right. We'll set this up so I don't have to use an extension cord later on, but for right now, we're just going to have to use the extension cord. Remember, do not turn this on unless you have water in the chiller. I know we're a little lopsided here. All right, so there's 2 modes that I was talking about earlier. We got D1 and D2. They recommend that you run it in D1, which is the thermostat is working in intelligent control mode. Basically what that's saying is it's not going to allow, it's going to be working so you don't build up condensation on your tube. D2 is refrigeration mode, where it's always going to run at a set temperature. That's the best way I can sum that up for y'all. So also to restore factory settings, it says when you boot it up to restore factory settings. So if you go in and start messing with a bunch of settings, this is how you reset it. So you hold down the up and down key. So we have RST set, then up and down. If we press those, turn it on, and for 6 seconds. RE, reset. So the system is reset. Can hear water going. I don't see any water coming out from here. It's still gonna go and zip tie those on the machine here, but for right now, just want to make sure everything's working. Not seeing any water coming out there. Let's go around to the back, make sure don't have any water. And there we can hear the fans kick on. It's so if you hear me raising my voice, it's just so you can hear me. If the recording of this is really, really bad, I will be overdubbing this audio because of the fan. Well, then it just kicked off again. So we have a solid one on this top one. That's going to be D1. This bottom one is D2. It says flashes thermostat works in parameter settings mode or display value of room temperature. It is reading in Celsius. If you notice, I am very sweaty right now. And that's because the weather app says it's 91 or 92 out there with humidity at 80%. So we are very humid. So if I had this really cold and it's really warm in here, condensation can build up on the tube, and that's bad. We don't want that happening. We don't want to build up condensation. So that's why I'm going to be running it in D1. Okay, so this is our water temperature. It's 23.1, and then if we hold down the down button for 6 seconds, it will show the ambient temperature. So what it's like out here. It's almost 27 degrees Celsius. If we're running in D1 and we want to set the temperature difference between the ambient and what we want it to chill down to, we'll hit set and we're at 2. Let's just put it to 3 and then hit RST, and that's what changes and sets it there. And you have 20 seconds to do that. Let's say if we were running in D2, then we would do the same thing and then up or down and then RST to set what we want the temperature to be at. So that's saying we want it to be run at 15 or 16 degrees Celsius. That's how we change that there if you're running in D2, the constant temperature. All right, we're not going to get into advanced settings, but if we wanted to, we would hold this up key, 1, 2, that didn't work, for 5 seconds. Let's see if that worked. Okay, that didn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, oh, and then this is how we get into the different settings. So we can go, right? Oh, no, I think I gotta, default is 8. All right, so that was the password, and the default password is 8. Now we're in the functions. So F0, that's your temperature settings. F1, temperature difference values. Cooling hysteresis, I probably said that wrong, so you can yell at me in the comments there. Way of control, alarm for over high water temperature, alarm for over low water temperature, alarm for over high temperature. You can change the password. I would suggest leaving it at 8. The allowed highest water temperature and the allowed lowest water temperature is F9. And that's all in this book here, and then you can go and change it. Again, we're not going to be doing that. Let's hit reset, RST. I forgot, we did the quick disconnect, and we never tested that out. Who wants to see make sure we don't get water all over the place? This is our inlet. Hey, alarms work. And our outlet. Nice, and now my ear's ringing. Thank you a lot, alarm. That is another thing. These alarms are loud. Louder than what your fan, the fan is gonna be. Well, we got it all hooked up. Our chiller is on and ready for use. Next steps, it's getting into here and playing with it. And that's where the real, I would say, review comes. All of this has been getting set up and getting ready. It's been quite simple. Now, granted, I have set up one before. It's been a while, so no, I did not remember all the steps, but that's okay. It's really not that hard. I think I was really intimidated when I first got a CO2 laser, and that's why it took me 2 or 3 months to get it set up. But I have to say thank you to Dave Gatton to kind of giving me a kick in the butt, along with the guys from making it up as we go. And really, once you get to this stage, now it's firing up the laser and get to cutting. That's going to be the real fun part. Now, for the chiller itself, compared to the other one I had to get off Amazon, I bet you they're pretty much the same. Maybe they got some of their parts from different factories, but overall, similar in size, build, functionality. They're not really that dissimilar. I believe mine's blue and this is white. That's the biggest difference I could probably say. One of the things on these chillers, I know it's probably an engineering thing why the gauge is on the back for how full it is, but if it was on the front. Now, one of the other things, if we do keep the machine, yes, I'm going to build a stand for this. You can tell we're back on the stool again. And I would get this up way higher and then make room for that. That's the other thing. Even if it went down here, we would still, it says 30 centimeters on both sides. So I think I'd get it down here, put some fans, make sure there's plenty of air circulation, nothing on the sides, because I need wheels. Like I said earlier, we had hail and thunderstorm, well, not thunderstorm, tornado warnings going on. So I had to get the car in here. Car's a little bit more important than everything else. It's how we get to work. It's how we make our money. So yeah, I was able to Tetris all this in here, but having this on a movable riser would just be awesome. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, whichever side it's on, so you can keep up with all the latest DE Hammer videos. I also do videos on CNC routers and 3D printing now. So go check out my bamboo unboxing. You can skip to the end of that one. I know it's a long one. But next for this, we're going to be going over mirror alignment. We're going to be doing ramp tests and just making sure this thing is ready before we do a project. And I'm looking forward to it. So until next time, remember, keep making stuff.